Hello and welcome to yet another episode of The Rubber Match. I'm your host, Seth Weber. With me always, my hetero life mate, Brian Freeland.
What's going on?
All right. So we had some reasonable success with the All-Star teams last time. We're going to switch so that Freeland's going up 2 of the 3 periods. So he's team 1. He's the home team, which I don't know what the All-Stars home would be, but we'll see. And then we'll see how that shakes out.
All right.
It's been 2 weeks. We didn't record last week because Anna and I went to Denver to see Marc Rebillet at Red Rocks.
I want to hear all about it. I want to hear about like what you thought about Denver. I want you to know about the concert.
Yeah, it was interesting because we got there Saturday, and we stayed until Monday, and on Saturday we got in like around 1-ish, so we had the whole day to sort of acclimate. And like what I really liked about Denver, was the train. Like the train is amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can take the train from the airport straight into downtown, and then we took the train from there out all the way to like Golden, which is pretty close to Red Rocks, which is where we were staying. And it added like, I don't know, probably like 2 hours to our to like after we had got in. Like it was like something like 45-minute or so, two train rides that were both 45 minutes, but it was just nice to not have to worry about it. And then we got back on the train and went back down into downtown to sort of walk around and Saturday night we went to downtown Golden because we wanted to see, it's like where the Coors Brewery is. They're in Golden, Colorado, and then there you go.
Sorry, my wife was asking me something.
Oh, no problem.
She was like, "Dude, my headphones." I was like, "No, damn it." I blame my wife on that one. All right. So you went downtown Golden.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like most of the stuff was closed. Like it looked cool. Like it looked like it was still kind of the same kind of historic downtown of like a Gold Rush era type town, which is cool. But we ate at like a pizza place that was weird because it had very much. I told Anna it had very much the same vibe as like a Friday Saturday night at our Pizza Hut in Haverty Grace.
Oh yeah.
It had one of those vibes where it was like really busy, but it was like a lot of families, and they had like a pizza buffet, so there were like just people constantly getting up and walking around, and they had like a salad bar. It just had that same sort of vibe to it. Like it was very nostalgic to me.
You might run into like your teacher and their family.
Yeah. It was, but it wasn't bad. And then we went back to the hotel and got some sleep. And then on Sunday, the show wasn't until like later in the day or in the evening. So we went downtown to try to find stuff for people. Like our family friend watched the kids while we were gone, and so we were like looking for stuff for her and for the kids. And so we walked around downtown, and like it was really hard to find shops of like stuff to like buy. And I couldn't tell if it was like COVID had hit downtown Denver really bad, and like there was a lot of like coming soon signs. And I don't know if they had been like, there had been a lot of stores that had closed during COVID, and then they were like just starting to like get people into those stores, and they were, getting all ready or what. But we walked around a lot, and we ended up just having lunch in like one of the historic districts, and then got back for to get ready to go to the show, and we took a lift up there, and like we hadn't gone up that way, and like the second we started like getting up into the mountains, and I was like, holy shit, like this is beautiful up here. And then like the Lyft driver, we were a bit before the doors even opened, and he was like, well, usually we got to drop you in this one parking lot, but I can take you all the way up to the top, I think. Like, we'll see if they let us. And I was like, okay, that's
Holy
cool.
Shit.
I'd expected to like have to walk up there, and he like took us all the way up to the top, and like there was already a line forming, and we got in line. We were probably like pretty. Oh, nice shot. We were pretty close to the beginning. Like it was growing, but it grew a lot more while we were standing there. But like just we were there like right at sunset, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And then like got in and got some food because we hadn't gotten any dinner yet, so we ate some food there. And
so what kind of food did they have there? Were they like food trucks?
They have a bunch of like I have one picture of like one of the big rocks, and you can kind of see some of the they're like little what can I think of a word for it? They're little like stalls, like at the very very top, and they have like obviously a bunch of drinks, but then they had like any type of food you really wanted. They had like a pizza place, a burger place, hot dog place, a sausage place. And just a bunch of different stuff, and it was pretty good. And then after, if you shot that a little sooner, I think that would have gone.
I know.
And then we're like, okay, well, the opener's probably going to come on pretty soon. Let's head down and like find some seats. And we got down pretty close to the front. I'd probably say we're like in row 20 or so, maybe a little bit more than that, 30 maybe. But the problem is that like it's like the amphitheater is like straight down. Like there's not a bad seat in that place, but like you're walking down like six steps at a time down to each section, and like it's just repeated over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that type of like repetition in like going down, like is something that I had trouble with when I was working on a building that had like 14 floors, and whenever we would have a fire drill, I would start to get dizzy, like because you would like go down the stairs and then turn, and then go down the stairs and then turn, and then go down the stairs. It was just like so repetitive, and I was like, oh man, I don't want that to happen here. But it wasn't too bad, and once we got to the seats, everything was cool. And then I just kept like looking up behind me at like all of the seats behind us, and I was like, man, this place is going to be absolutely insane when it gets filled. And the opener was Big Frida, which is I think it's a trans woman from New Orleans.
Okay.
That does I would best describe it as twerking music.
Okay.
And so like it was a lot of her. She had like she had four backup dancers they were all dressed up like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay.
And the songs basically equated to them like the DJ like putting a beat on, and then it's sort of like building to a crescendo, and then her just yelling at their asses. That's sort of simplifying what she does. I feel like she could definitely get a club or a party like really really hyped.
Right.
And there were people feeling it. It was okay. It wasn't the worst opener in the world that I've ever seen. Right. Which would be a good question that we could discuss later. That hit your own guy. Check it out on him. But then we were waiting, and like the lights went down, and it was cold, and it got down to like probably 39 or so.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cold.
Unless like the wind blew, like it didn't really feel that cold. Like we had gloves on. And
right, like that. That's what I was telling you.
Yeah, like it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. It was like the mountain cold is like different.
Yeah. Like once the wind picked up, I was like, okay, this is bad. But like other than that, it was tolerable. I'd say that.
Yeah.
But then the lights went down and everybody got like excited, and then suddenly like a spotlight like shined up about 3/4 of the way up the stairs, and he was like, "I'm up here, you motherfuckers!" He was like, "I'm late for the show. Get out of my way!" And he just climbed all the way down through the stairs, all the way down, and it reminded me of that like that scene in Ted Lasso when Ted like wants to bench Jamie, and he like runs up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
And the announcer's like, "That's some really impressive cardio by Ted Lasso."
Oh no! Did you see it?
It was
he
there.
Like shot
it was there for you.
Next to the goal. Oh man.
But he went up there and he just murdered it, and it was awesome. Like it was such a good show, and I will go see him anytime I can, because he just puts on an absolute great show. And like for the encore, he'll do like some of the tracks that like people know, like Flamingos or Girls Club or New Morning Alarm Clock or whatever. But all the rest of the show is completely improvised. And he did a bunch of different types of music. He did some like soulful type stuff, and some like, you know, trip hop, some EDM type stuff. Like it was all over the place, and it was so good. It was so good. But yeah, it was a good weekend. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of. I don't like travel days like on the way back. I'm not a big fan of returning home travel.
Yeah.
It's just the worst. Like I was good on the plane going out, and then coming back, I was just like, I don't want to be on this plane anymore. I'm so done with all of this.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the last time I was in Denver?
No.
So, my AmeriCorps roommate, I haven't talked. My AmeriCorps roommate got married in Denver in 2014. Yeah, in the fall. All right, and so it had been at that point. 2014 was 13 years since I had been like at Denver for AmeriCorps. So there was like a few AmeriCorps people there. It was a good get together, and like Friday night, it was like there was like three of us. So it was my buddy Ryan and my buddy Alex, and Ryan was one getting married, and I'd seen Ryan like a couple of times, like I don't know, maybe once a year, twice a year, like since, because he and I were close. Since that time, but I didn't see my buddy Alex since his wedding in San Francisco, like the year before. So we didn't really, like, all the other like AmeriCorps people were like kind of married and doing their own thing. You son of a bitch! You completely missed the goal again.
Again, he missed it.
Going wine every time. So, goddamn, I'm laying down too early. So, you know, at this point, I was on a break from my then girlfriend, but good news, she later became my wife. But we were on like a little break, so I was kind of like single and ready to mingle when I was out there. But I got there, I was like, I don't know why, like, none of these girls or bridesmaids or like talking to me. I'm trying to get something going, but like, just it's not happening. And Alex was married, but he was like, yeah, he was like, you know, I'm married. I usually get something. He's like, I'm still a good-looking guy, right? I was like, oh, yeah, we're still good-looking guys. He's like, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So it's like the next night at the wedding, we're like at this table and we're talking, and I'm sitting next to Alex and talk to this girl on the left who was married, and Alex is like on the right, and he's chatting up with somebody, and so this girl starts asking us like, you know, like how long have we like known each other? I was like, oh, we all met in AmeriCorps. And he said, well, you know, I live in D.C. I was like, but he lives in San Francisco. I was like, oh yeah, Alex, he lives in San Francisco. And she's like, that's a long way. That's a long distance.
That's a long distance relationship.
And I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, he was like, and she's like, oh, Ryan, the groom, told everybody at the beginning that you both were gay. And we're seeing each other. I was like, you son of a bitch! Like, you son of a bitch!
I would like to say something. Weekend. I'd like to give a toast.
Yeah, but at that point it felt like too late because I had to get on a flight like early the next morning, you know, from Denver.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a train, or maybe there was a shuttle from the hotel. So we kind of left the wedding early. We're like, all right, let's go to the bar where we used to hang out back, and this is in Aurora, so it's like kind of the outskirts of Denver. It was this place called Big Daddy's, and Big Daddy's was like just like this like local dive bar. We used to shoot pool, so we go up there and we shoot pool, and like let's walk across the street and see the old campus. Now the old campus, it used to be like an Air Force base, and now it's like, from what I understand, like it's not the campus anymore. They've like reconverted it into like some housing developments, and there's some other buildings. Anyway, so we're walking across the street, and we're looking at the old campus. I'm like, Alex, I don't feel so good. And he's like, what's going on? And he's like, you know, climbing up the trees, like for some reason. We're both pretty drunk at this point. And I'm like, yeah, pause again for a second. And I'm like, Alex, I think I'm gonna shit myself. So I like pulled down my pants really quick, and I'm like holding onto this tree branch, and I'm like just shitting. And like he's up in the trees, like, what's going on down there? And he goes, oh, Freeland, light. And I look over, and there's like some like rent-a-cop like car is like boosting up on us. And I'm like, Alex, I'm pretty sure he doesn't see you. Like, stay up there. So the light spot's on me. My pants are at my ankles. I'm holding on this tree branch, like hanging back as far as my arms will go from the tree branch. And it is like water is just like coming out of my ass. And I remember like not feeling good in the bar, so I had like had enough foresight to like grab a few napkins. So I like wiped myself up like really quickly, and like just in time this guy gets out of the car, and he was like, what are you doing out here? And so I just gave him the story. I was like, I was here for AmeriCorps. This is the dorm I used to like live in. And he's like looking down at this like basically watery cow turd, like right by my feet. And he's like, all right, well, what are you doing here now? Like, you can't be out here. I was like, I'm sorry, I came over for old times. I'm not feeling well. And he's starting to like crinkle up his nose a little bit, like, cause it's like starting to smell. But I'm like, I think it was like, can we just like both like let this go and move on? And he was pretty cool about it. So, you know, Alex and I are laughing about that all the way home. Well, the next day I had to get up like 4:00 in the morning, and you know, I luckily the hotel did like an overnight laundry service because I had like got a bit of shit in my pants. So they had done overnight laundry service. I was like good to go. I'm heading out at 4:30, and I'm looking around, and I didn't see it the night before, but there was the tiniest bit of like shit, maybe like the size of a $50 on my coat that like I couldn't do anything about. Like I had to catch the shuttle outside. I was like, oh man, this is how I'm traveling today. Like this is how I'm leaving Denver. It was, yeah. So talk about long travel days from Denver. I hear you.
Yeah. Good Lord.
All right.
Try West.
I'm going to try West. Let's do this again.
Okay.
So I will say in that game, I felt like we fought it out for like two solid.
I mean, if you had hit the two that you had, it would have been 5-4.
I know.
So it would have been a lot closer.
And with the manual goalies, I realized that I'm lying down early or you're waiting a little bit to shoot.
Yeah. Which
is smart.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
no, I feel like we were both going it out that game. Yeah. Oh, get that.
Oh. Not cool.
So yeah. So I started my new job.
Yeah.
I'm now teaching fourth grade. I'm the ELL or MLL teacher, so it's English language learners or multi-language learners. The students who I'm working with, families speak at home, like Haitian Creole or Cape Verdean Creole or Spanish. Those are like the three probably primary languages. So Yeah, so I'm working on giving them extra support for English in the classroom.
Gotcha.
Between two fourth grade classrooms. And yeah, the first week my co-teacher was out with COVID, which sucked, and because it was like a substitute teacher who they did not respect, and this new guy, me, who was saying, "Hi, I'm your new teacher," and they're like, "Who the F is this guy?" So it was like, yeah, I was like, "No, I'm not gonna." Ooh, holy shit, you dumbass!
Somebody wants some force.
Right. He was like, "Let me just carry this in here." So last week was a lot better because she was back and we were able to like establish like some norms, routines. But it's been very tired. I've been trying to build relationships with the kids, and my sole street cred right now, because I'm out of touch with everything. I was like, well, what do I have to watch? Naruto? How many seasons are there? How many episodes? I don't know if I want to do that. One Punch Man, One Piece, Attack on Titan. It's like all this anime stuff.
Yeah.
And so like this.
I think you probably dig one. I haven't One Punch Man, but from what I know about it, you probably dig it. You probably dig Attack on Titan too.
Yeah. So I was like, this is a deep dive into anime that I haven't started yet, but maybe I'll start this week. But I asked this kid, we'll call him Ronnie. It's not Ronnie, but he's supposed to be doing this math game. And Ronnie's like a big kid. He's like kind of goofy. He's supposed to be doing like this math game on his computer. And instead he's playing Streets of Rage, basically, on the computer. I'm like, Ronnie, that doesn't look like a math game to me. And he was like, oh no, it's Streets of Rage. I was like, cool, I'll play Streets of Rage. And his mouth got wide, and he like looked over at me and said, you played Streets of Rage? I was like, yeah, on the original Sega Genesis. On the original Sega Genesis. And he was like, he grabs my hands and his hands. He's like, you are like my brother. And I was like, okay. And he starts telling like the whole class that I was playing like I was like, so I just ran with it. I was like, yeah, I had the original Sega. I had the Sega CD. He's like, yeah, the Sega CD. Nobody had the Sega CD. I was like, I did.
I probably still got parts of it in a box somewhere.
Yeah, it was at John's house for a while, but God damn it, I leave for 1 year. I leave for 1 year. I went safely
store your Sega CD parts in someone's basement.
I was going to fix it eventually, but so I came back from AmeriCorps after that year to get my stuff from John's house, to get my stuff from the White's house. It was like all my Horcruxes, and they're all gone. Everything. I was like, I've only been gone a year. Like,
everything we dumped off at people's houses in the middle of the night.
Right, because I'm not so great about like moving. Yeah. That was
I actually had one of the exact same conversations. Like my mom pinged me and was like, hey, I've got somebody, one of my friends, their grandson wants to do something like art related for a career. He's only like 15. He's going to be 16. Could he call you and talk to you about that? I'm like, okay, sure. And so I talked to him and his brother about it, and they asked me a bunch of questions, and I was like, and I told them that I was like, I feel like you guys are really lucky because like the one thing that like you want to do is try to build a community, right? You want to be part of a community that likes the same stuff you like, and with the internet,
sure,
you can do that so much easier than you could when I was growing up because like,
oh yeah, absolutely,
you had to like find the people or like expose them to the stuff you like. And maybe if you were lucky, you'd find a handful of people in your school that are similar.
Sure.
But with the internet, like, you got the fucking world to pick from.
Right.
And and I was like, with Discord and Reddit, like you could find a community that would like give you feedback, and like you could give feedback and like all that stuff. It's super important for like gaining, like, you know, increasing your skills. And they were like, oh, we haven't, like anyone we talk to about this stuff, they don't know about any of this stuff. We definitely nobody that knows anything about Reddit or Discord. It's like, all right, what? I'm not as old as I think I am.
Yeah. I had the kids guess how old I was. I was writing on a piece of paper, and if you guess it right, you get a piece of candy. And some were just jerks, like 89. I was like, yeah, you jerks. Some were pretty close. You know, nobody got it right on the money.
Yeah.
But I think like the youngest was like 36, and I was like, all right. And even my co-teacher wanted to put in a guess. She guessed 30. So I was like, all right,
sure.
So yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely it's less stress than I've been dealing with like the last couple months. I'm getting in a routine, so I got to take. Because I have my master's, I can apply for an initial licensure, teaching licensure, but I have to take 2 tests, and they're called like the MTEL. It's basically like the Massachusetts Teaching Teachers Education Licensure test. So one is like a communications and literacy, and my wife was telling me that I could pass it right now. She's like, she didn't study and she passed. And I was like, all right. And then the other is specifically for teaching ESL. And, really shit in the bed with this one. And that one is a little bit deeper. I mean, I've had some of the theory for like linguistics and like language acquisition, but it's more about like accommodating students. Like the same way you would make accommodations in special education, you have to make accommodations for ESL. Yeah. And that's going to be new material for me. So, but I don't have to pass those until March of 2023. It's March 1st, 2023, in order for me to get basically rehired. So I have to have those. So I have some time. But yeah, it's the good thing about Massachusetts. It has a 50-state reciprocity. So as long as I get my so I can take it anywhere. Now Casey, my wife, got her teaching licensure in Washington D.C. It has a 49-state. Oh, come on, off the pole. 49-state reciprocity. The one state it doesn't have reciprocity with is Massachusetts.
Of course.
So that's one of the reasons that we've stayed up in Mass so long is because she has to be up here 5 years to get her professional licensure. You know, hopefully next year we can take a look at moving back to Maryland. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
have you been watching or playing anything?
So I am 106 hours into Elden Ring, and Jesus by my calculations, I am 46% of the way through.
Yeah. Getting your money's worth.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. It like I'm just like once you look at the map, you're like, oh, that map is like I could. That's manageable. Like the map actually has 3 layers. Like there's an extensive underground network that you have to like push like the map, the right joystick, like once to get all the subterranean stuff, which is extensive in its own right, and then there is like a celestial portion. So there's like a map on top of the original map that it's like I've never played anything like it before, and I'm getting better like at timing. Like it's a game where you have to like time jumps or you have to parry, and like. But is that the goalie? I think the goalie just decided to take it up himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm getting better at it, and it's not as brutal as like the only other From Software game I played is Sekiro, and I did not like that. I thought I was gonna love it. I did not like that game at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in really good world building as far as like story, and it's George R. R. Martin helped to co-write it, and
yeah.
I guess the game designer, the writer and director has like a pretty established like career. So, oh, nice, snaked it past.
Yeah.
All right, can I get 3 more in 7 minutes? We'll see. So that's been the only thing. There's been nothing new. I mean, maybe like next week I'll have like some anime stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's getting pretty close to Oscar season. So there are a couple of movies out a couple of movies that are going to be out that are on my radar. So
yeah.
And I get access to Showtime. Still using my student discount for like a bundle.
Okay.
So on Showtime is Confess Fletch. So I'd like to talk about that next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious. As a God damn it! You're right. I do better with East.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the fact that you've got Ovechkin and Crosby. But yeah, like the numbers, it doesn't seem to matter. I've been watching Arcane. On Netflix.
Is that the anime show?
It's animated. It's based on the world of League of Legends.
Holy shit! League of Legends. Is that the Korra stuff, or is that different? No, I think Legend of Korra is something different. What is League of Legends?
Oh yeah, League of Legends is a MOBA. Like you have heroes and you like. I've never actually played it. But you like pick your heroes and then you like try to capture certain areas of the map. And it's huge. Like it's a massive game. Like tons of people play it. But then they like I don't know how like the characters in the show relate to the game at all. Like I have no earthly clue if I'm like seeing stuff from the game or what. But the show is really good. Like it's beautiful, and it's a very interesting. Like the world is very interesting, and the characters are really well done. Yeah, I'm like four episodes in, and like on the 4th one, there's like a jump in time that they don't really like. You don't really figure out until a little bit into that episode, where you're like, wait, what just happened? But it's really good. It's really good. I also watched the first episode of Dahmer.
No. No, thank you.
Which is it's pretty intense. I don't know if I'll probably get back to it at some point, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. I read something briefly where Evan Peterson said like he just wants to play like regular normal characters, and I get it. Did you ever see Mare of Easttown?
No, I heard really good things about it, but I haven't.
It was really great, and he plays a detective in that show, and he's normal, and I was like, I'm actually really impressed with his performance because he's playing like a pretty normal guy. But Mare of Easttown is great. I've actually been thinking about giving it a rewatch. The
other thing that I've been playing that I want to dig into more, so I'll talk about it more next week. But I will already recommend it, and that's Marble Snap on the iPhone or on mobile.
Wait, Marble Snap?
Marvel, like comic Marvel.
Marvel Snap.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a collectible card game. It's free to play. They don't nickel and dime you. Games are quick.
Okay.
It's really fun. Very strategic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
All right. Can you play with other people, or
you do play against other people, I think. I mean, it says that it finds opponents, but I don't know how much of that is true and how much of it are computer players. I don't know. The one thing you can't do is like actually say who you want to play against, or as far as I can tell, you can't yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, cool. I don't know what we're gonna do next week.
Yeah. I think we go back to East, and then maybe we spot a goal and go from there.
Yeah, didn't we talk about doing something else?
I mean, I think we reversed the size this time. I think that was the only other thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
but I feel like the East with a goal or two should be sufficient.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, better luck next time.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for this episode. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.